Hey gorgeous, welcome back to Life and Style. Today's video is going to be a haul video. I've been doing these a lot lately because I've been buying a lot of stuff, whether it's from the drugstore or getting some of the newer collections through Ulta and Sephora. And I like to kind of hold everything to do a collective haul so that I'm not doing, 2-minute hauls every week. So I've got quite a few things in front of me, but I'm excited for everything. I also have used a lot of the products that I purchased on my face and on my eyes. So as I'm going through them, I will let you know what I've used on my face today to do this video, and also a quick kind of first impressions, obviously not a review, but a first impressions as to how I feel things applied and how I feel the entire look came together. I'm going to start out with the products that I purchased at CVS. This was actually between two stores. I had gone in to see if I could find the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation, which I didn't, but I did end up finding it at Ulta. So I'm going to start out with one product that's basically in a way kind of skincare in a way, but this is a Physicians Formula Rosé All Day Oil-Free Serum. I wasn't going to get this, and one of my favorite YouTubers, Andrea Montagiano, I believe, and I know that's not the way you pronounce her name, I just cannot remember how it is, but I talk about her all the time. She really is one of my favorites. She also has oily skin, so that's why I watch her a lot. Her reviews are very thorough, and usually the things that she recommends and I purchase, absolutely love them. So when I saw this, I said, you know what, let me go ahead and try it. And I absolutely love it. I have talked about the Becca First Light Priming Filter on this channel before. That's the purple one, especially during the winter months when my skin is kind of sallow, there's not a lot of oomph to it, and it just needs to look healthier. This is basically, for me, the less expensive version of that product. So it comes with a dropper, as you can see. You're probably not going to be able to tell the sheen on the camera. I'm going to try it though, but as you can see the dropper there's nothing coming out. It is a thicker consistency, not too thick, mind you, but I'm going to try to hopefully have you see how nice that is. And you don't need a lot. I just dot a little bit on the cheeks and the forehead, but when you put it into the skin, first of all, it doesn't feel oily or slick or anything like that, but it just adds this sheen to your skin. And again, you're probably not going to be able to see that there, but when I put it on my skin, it adds this glow that's just absolutely gorgeous. Healthy, not glittery, not shimmery, but just this something there that you notice. Yesterday, for example, we were going to the movies and I did not feel like putting on foundation or concealer or corrector, but I always do my eyebrows and I put a little bit of eyeliner. So I put this on right before I moisturize, and I still get the effects of how this looks on my skin even after I put moisturizer on top of it. So what I did was I just powdered my T-zone, did my brows, my eyeliner, and then just this on the rest of the face. I put on the Glossier Cloud Paint, which is a cream, really a liquid blush, and I put a little bit of that on. It looked healthy and glowy, and I had absolutely no issue with looking any sweatier or oily, more oily as the hours progressed. But if you haven't picked this up, even if you're an oily faced girl, go ahead and pick it up, because it just, if you like, especially if you like the Becca First Light Priming Filter or any of those types of primers that kind of add a glow to the skin, I will link everything down below. I want to say this is about $15 or so, in that range, but I got it on sale at CVS, so it was a really good price, and I absolutely love it. It's a product that I will definitely continue to use, and when I finish the Becca First Light Priming Filter, I'm just going to continue to buy this because it's less expensive and it does the exact same thing to my face. The next couple of things I purchased were two eyeshadow palettes. This one is a Maybelline City Mini palette in 410, which is Chill Brunch Neutrals. I own a lot of these palettes and I absolutely love these palettes. They are some of the best drugstore palettes that I have ever tried. This is the color range there. I haven't used this one yet, but I absolutely love the way this looks, and I cannot wait to put this on my eyes. Again, I own several of these. I have used every single one that I have, and I have not been disappointed. The second eyeshadow palette that I got was one of the new or newer Wet n Wild ones, and this is in Nude Awakening. So this is what I have on my eyes today. I used both of the transition colors, which you see here, this one up here, and then this one down here more in the crease, just to kind of deepen up the crease a little bit. And then I used this kind of reddish brown color here, and then also this darker black color here on the outer portion of my eyes. I did go in with a shimmery shadow, which I'll talk about when we get to that part of the haul. But I used this shimmer shadow to kind of put down on the eyelid first before I applied the other one. And I do have to say that this was quite disappointing. I know a lot of shimmer shadows benefit from using something like a Fix Plus to make the shimmer or glitter a little more prominent. But I always like to go in first, unless I know that I'm just gonna try to go for that really, really high shine look. I always try to use these shadows first, dry, just to see what the color payoff is with this. It was pretty bad. I had to keep dipping in and pressing onto the eyelid, and I finally did get some color payoff, but still not a lot. I will also say that this black shade right here, extremely, extremely powdery. Like, I literally just, and there's some black in here, I don't know if you could catch that on the camera. I literally just dipped my brush in there and picked it straight up just to kind of get a feel for, because I noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is going everywhere. So I put the brush in there, just picked it straight up, and it was just like poof everywhere. So just an FYI, if you don't own this palette, this is going to be very powdery. The blendability on these shadows, though, as I was doing this eye look, is really nice, really liked it. And I liked especially with like the transition color and even this red color here. They weren't overly pigmented right off the bat, which I can absolutely appreciate. Again, I think that people are so hung up on how pigmented is this shade or these shadows that even if you could build up a shadow, to me, that's absolutely fine. And I personally like the way this eye look came out. I built these up really nicely without, you know, looking to like showing texture or just feeling too much on the eyes. It just built up beautifully, and I absolutely loved it. So I am glad that I picked this up. I own another one of these and a couple of the smaller ones, but this is the first one that I actually used from this line. So I am overall happy with the palette. Just again, that shimmer shade was left like literally a lot to be desired. I probably won't pop into it again unless I'm using some Fix Plus, and the black again was very, very dusty. This next thing I picked up, and I have a lot of highlighters that I picked up overall, is the Maybelline Master Holographic Highlighter in 050. I tend, and I don't know why the hell I do, because I am not of the skin tone that can wear pale highlighters very well, but I love them. I think it's just that shimmery effect that they have to them. So I did purchase this. As you can see, that is very, very white. I don't even think I tried it on my cheeks, but right now it's what I'm wearing in my inner corner. And because I got this on sale at CVS, I said, even if I don't use it for my face, or, you know, for like a really high intense mermaid look or something like that, I can always put it on the inner corner of my eyes, and I don't mind having that just for that purpose, because again, I did get it on sale. The second highlighter that I purchased from CVS was one of the Physicians Formulas Butter Highlighters. I'm so glad I was able to get my hands on one of these. This is in pink/rose. They also had the white color and then like a champagne color. I want to say they have 3 or 4 of these, but this is the one that really spoke to me. So that's the packaging. I think most people have seen what these look like. They don't open like the butter bronzers. They twist open, but that's what the shade looks like, and that is what I am wearing on my cheeks today. I got a really nice amount of coverage or highlightiness, whatever, when I applied it. I am sure that you could go back in and really, really deepen that up. But again, I do love the way it came out. I like my pink and purple highlighters as well. It's just something because it's different, not this constant gold or champagne color. I do own a lot of gold highlighters, but I really do tend to gravitate towards the pinks and purples when I know that they're going to be wearable for me. I really do like it. I like the way this applied. A little goes a long way. I dipped my brush in there and got a lot of product right away. So I probably will pick up another 1 or 2 of these highlighters. I've been looking for this loose powder for forever, you know, because I keep hearing really, really good things about it. Really good reviews about how it sits on the skin, how it mattifies the skin, how it doesn't leave white cast, and I finally found it. And I looked down and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was the last one, so I grabbed it. This is the Rimmel London Stay Matte Mattifying Loose Powder. It is what I have used on my face today. For my forehead, because I always do that first, I used the actual puff that was in here and I just pressed it onto the skin. Again, did not leave white cast on my skin. I was able to blend it in really nicely and it melted into the skin. Then for the rest of the face, I just used a really big fluffy brush from BH Cosmetics and kind of pressed it in a bit, and then I kind of swirled it around. I love the way it worked. It is translucent, but sometimes with translucent powders, if you're not extremely fair or pale, they can leave white cast, and I have found that with, you know, some powders that I do not use, but this is absolutely wonderful. So all of the hype that it has gotten is definitely warranted because it's a really nice powder. The next thing I picked up was a new foundation, and I don't know if they've changed the formulation together with the packaging, but this is the Super Stay Full Coverage Complete Foundation, and this is from Maybelline. I have owned this already in the old packaging, but I know that a couple of months ago it was everywhere on Facebook, on YouTube. So again, I don't know if the formulation has changed or just the packaging. I know that I liked the other Super Stay foundation very, very much, so I wanted to pick this up. The last two items are lip items. The first thing is the L'Oreal Color Riche Shine. Basically, it's not really a lipstick. It's kind of a cross between a lipstick and a lip gloss. The packaging, first of all, is beautiful. I've seen these all over YouTube over the last several, maybe like 2 months. The color I got is 904 Varnished Rosewood because that's the one that spoke to me the most, and that is what it looks like. Again, I think most people have seen these because these have been around. This is without a doubt, or has become quickly, one of my favorite balm / lipstick hybrids ever. It is so nourishing. It puts a little bit of tint on the lips. It's absolutely perfect. I am going to be putting this in my purse, and that says a lot. I always carry that like a little makeup bag in my purse with me, and I have items in there in case I need to touch up during the day. I always have my Rosebud Salve and then an extra lipstick. I'm going to take those two out and just put this in there, not only to save space, but because this does both. Again, it gives me a little bit of a tint on the lips, not too much, but the way it feels moisturizing and nice, not sticky. It doesn't feel like it crusts up after several hours. I actually put this on my lips first, then I put on a lipstick, which I will talk about shortly, and then I put this on top, just a light layer, and it feels so, so nice. These come in several different shades, but again, this was the one that really spoke to me as far as the shade that I thought I would like. And then the last lip product I got is an oldie but a goodie. It's a MegaLast Liquid Catsuit Metallic Lipstick from Wet n Wild. It's not even open yet, but this is the shade. And actually, let me go ahead and open it so I can just show you the shade. But I love this shade, especially when I decide to go for like a vampier lip. These are kind of the shades that I gravitate towards because they look really, really good on my skin tone. So I'm going to swatch this for you. So this is the shade that it is, and let me see what it is. It's 993 I Don't Desert You. It's very cute. Definitely looks as good out of the package as it looked in the package, and I think that I'm going to like this very, very much as far as coloring goes. Again, it applied a little streaky, but we'll see how it goes on the lips. I own other liquid catsuits, not the metallic one, and I do like those very much, so I have really high hopes for this one as well. So moving on to things that I purchased at Ulta. This was during 2 visits. Some of this stuff I got when I received my 20% off coupon just recently. And because of that, and because I had a good amount of points, I went specifically for one thing. So that was the second visit, but I'll start with that one. I went specifically for the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia. I wasn't going to get it, and all I kept hearing was fantastic reviews. People were gushing about how beautiful this palette was, how beautiful it applied on the eyes, and how just gorgeous overall it was. So if you haven't seen it, let me take the brush out because it's going to fall. This is what it looks like. Of course, I'm holding it upside down because I don't want to blind you. But these shades, you know, at first, again, I wasn't gonna get it, and I went in store and I looked at it in person, like close. I didn't even swatch any of the colors. I just looked at it and I said, I need that palette. In real life, as opposed to on camera, there's just something about it that looks, for me anyway, so different. Just looking at these colors, I'm like, I will be able to use most, if not all, of these colors. A lot of the lighter ones would, you know, for me, obviously, would be used more for transition, whereas on a lighter skinned person, they might show up. I love it, and I don't expect anything less than really, really good things from this palette. Again, I wasn't going to get it, but no one that I saw talking about this palette gave it a bad review, so I'm very, very excited to have that. And then the next two things I got were LA Girl Pro Matte Longwear Matte Foundation. So I am wearing this on my skin today. The first time I went and I picked up this shade, of course, most of them were sold out. So I said, you know what, I'm going to get the color closest to me, even though it was a little darker. This is Cafe, and I can lighten it just a bit. And so I went the second time. This was when I had my 20% off coupon. I went to a different Ulta and I found the sand version. So what I did today is I used the sand and I pumped in just the smallest amount of Cafe just to kind of warm up the color so it wouldn't be too pale. And it came out really, really nice. I like the way the shade was. It applied very, very nicely. Is it the most matte foundation that I've ever used? Personally, no. There are other foundations that I don't necessarily have to set. It goes on very, I want to say very light. I think this is a foundation that you have to build up, whereas I put on other matte foundations and they are full coverage from the word go. Like I put it on and I blend it in and I have to add nothing else. I added just a little bit. I wanted to start out slowly because I didn't know what to expect. This was the first time using it, but the blendability was very nice. Again, mixing those two shades worked for me very well. For me, I think, again, you have to build it up to get it that full coverage. But it feels nice on the skin, doesn't feel heavy, doesn't feel, you know, when I was putting it on, it didn't look like it was showing any texture or not blending in well. And so overall, I really do like it. I think this is a good foundation if you're on a budget or do not, you know, feel like spending $50 or $60 on a high-end matte foundation. The next product I got from Ulta is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. The one I have is in medium deep, and this one works very well as far as shade under my eyes. I also like it because it's very lightweight but still covers a lot. And even if I have to add a little bit in certain parts, I notice that it doesn't cake up. I set it with powder, I always do. No matter what concealer it is, I never not set my concealer with powder. But it is definitely a concealer I'm going to keep repurchasing. I think it's very, very nice under the eyes, very soft. And again, I've been using it for probably since I purchased it. So it's been like a week and a half or 2 weeks. I don't find that it creases or kind of crepes up under the eyes as the hours go on, because I'll put this on in the morning, go to work, and wear my makeup pretty much all day. And I really like the way it's got that lasting power without looking like cakey under the eyes. So a definite recommend if you haven't tried the Flower Beauty Concealer. It's a really good product. The last two products I got, the first one is from ColourPop. This is a Super Shock Shadow in Amaze. This is Ultra Glitter. The Ulta I went to, which I was pleasantly surprised had a ColourPop display, and I was happy about that. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of a gold color, and I'm going to swatch this for you. But this is what I am wearing on the kind of inner corner of my eye. So where you see that glitter, that's what I have on top of the Wet n Wild kind of shimmer color that I told you wasn't that great. I just used my fingers with this. I didn't use my brush. I will say before I went in with the Wet n Wild, I thought that this was going to be opaque enough to use on its own. So I did start out with a flat synthetic brush, just this on the lid. It is just kind of a wash of glitter. But when I added this with my finger on top of that shadow, this is what you get. The shimmer and glitter to me is really nice, not too much, but just perfect enough to add a little something. So I'm just going to run my finger along there. And again, it's kind of a light wash of color unless you're going to kind of put it on top of something else. Like the camera's probably not picking that up perfectly, but in me looking at it, it's a little opaque, but not really. You can't use this on your, I mean, you can use it on its own, absolutely. If you just want a light wash of kind of sparkles, this would be great on its own. But if you want it to kind of really show up, I would suggest putting it on another semi maybe shimmer shadow, not necessarily a glitter, and then just add it, and that's, you know, basically the finished product on there. I really like this, and ColourPop Super Shock shadows are so inexpensive. But I really do like that. And then the last thing I got from Ulta, which is another highlighter, is the Wet n Wild MegaGlo highlighter in Diamond Lily. Again, this is kind of like a grayish, bluish, whitish type of highlighter. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that's never gonna look good on your cheeks. And I'm like, I don't care, I'm buying it. So I went ahead and purchased it. I haven't used it yet, but I do own many of the other MegaGlo highlighters, and I absolutely love the formula and the way they look. So I am going to try this on my cheeks at some point and see how that looks. If not, again, this will be kind of an inner corner type of highlighter. They're so inexpensive that I don't mind just using it for that. And then the last two products I purchased were from HSN. I did purchase this other palette from this same line there, and I hauled it before. Love the fact that they do carry some higher end brands there, because HSN does offer flex pay a lot, and it's great so you can kind of stretch out the payments. You don't have to pay for everything right off the bat. So the first thing I got is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzer. This is just the one in the new packaging. I have both the Chocolate Soleil and Dark Chocolate Soleil in the old packaging. This is extremely luxe. For me, again, this is one of those things where I've had the other bronzers for a very long time, but I really, really wanted this new packaging. So it's like a gold all around. You've got the little heart, and this is almost like a matte finish here. But the bronzer is the same. So it's not something that they've necessarily reformulated, or it's a new bronzer altogether, but the packaging, and especially if you don't own any of these bronzers and are looking to buy these bronzers, I don't even know if they're making the old ones still. Not really sure about that. But definitely this would be the package to pick it up, and it's just so luxe and so beautiful. So that is the bronzer that I am wearing today on my skin. And then the second thing I picked up is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. I have the Natural Eyes matte palette, which I love very, very much. And when I kept seeing videos about this one, I said, I'm gonna have to pick it up. I did also order the face palette from HSN, which is what they call delayed shipping, which means it's just back ordered, so I'm just waiting for that to get shipped out. But this is the Natural Eyes palette, and this one contains mattes and shimmers. And again, because I saw this on videos, I was absolutely like, okay, I have to get it. So this is what it looks like. Very reflective, of course, but you have the layout the way they normally do with the three brow bone highlights and then your colors here. I cannot wait to dip into this palette. The shimmers in this palette just look so, so gorgeous. And I do like the Too Faced palettes. The smaller ones actually, like the Natural Eyes, the older version, and those that come in like tin packages, that formulation for some reason is just always, always on point, never disappoints me. And I do love using the tin ones. I don't know what happens when they start making bigger palettes, but the tin palettes that I own, and I own several, and two of the smaller cardboard ones, those, that formulation of shadow is just absolutely amazing, and I absolutely love it. So that is going to do it for this haul. I hope you enjoyed seeing everything I've gotten over the last couple of weeks. I actually do have some things on order that are going to be delivered probably in the next week. So I'm going to wait to get all those together and do another haul, kind of try on haul for you. But like I said, once I post this video, I'm going to let you know how everything wore, especially the eyeshadows and the foundation. Those are the big, two biggest things that I'm kind of interested in seeing how they wear throughout the day that I have never tried and tried today for the first time. Thank you again for spending a few moments of your day with me. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also click that little bell so you get alerted as to whenever I upload new content. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.